Why does it get rid of the entire thing? Welcome back to the Fast Track. This week's track, well, is Barcelona. Its reputation among Formula One fans predicates it as a track that lacks an on-track action due to a variety of factors, including its prominent use as a pre-season testing venue, and I'm not inclined to fight against that stigma. When it was first introduced into the world of motorsport back in 1991 as a project sponsored by the local governments and car club, there was a lot of hype built up around it, as it was poised to steal the responsibility of hosting the Spanish Grand Prix away from the track in Jerez just shy under 3 weeks after it is officially opened. A set of tremendous battles between Ayrton Senna, Nigel Mansell, and Gerhard Berger in its maiden showing solidified its place on the schedule, also opening the door for many other contemporary series to host events at the track. However, most of the ire surrounding this track would come from the series that put it on the map, as it would become a popular preseason testbed for F1 teams, be it in FIA-sanctioned tests or those done privately. And with the rapid evolution and increasing speeds of those cars over the course of the past 30-odd years, the track owners took it upon themselves to implement a variety of changes to the track, including the single most horrible chicane to ever smite a racetrack. Despite the official preseason testing moving to other tracks in recent times, and the rightful omission of this thing, its reputation hasn't improved significantly among the four-wheeled racing community. Though much like last week's track, it seems to be more popular among those who are interested in vehicles with half the wheels. As of the making of this video, it's set to be replaced by a street circuit in the heart of Madrid in 2026, relegating it to the fate of the Spanish racetracks that came before it. From a driver's perspective, it's a fine track to Hotlap. I mean, it makes sense as to why F1 teams like to test here, but you'd be hard-pressed to find some decent racing here with how many corners feel absolutely miserable while chasing someone in dirty air. Qualifying position will be everything, and this week's Hotlap is going to show you what to do to give yourself a better shot at taking a good position. Start the lap by braking around the 100 board on the left for turn 1, getting on the gas as you enter 2, and carrying that momentum into 3, lifting as needed. Your line through this section can make or break your lap, so get comfortable with it. Use the final white line on the left as your braking reference for turn 4, holding a tight line until the track widens on the exit. Then cutting back over for 5, doing much of the same there, but slower. Six is flat, leading into the relatively slow 7 and 8. Brake a little bit before the curbing on the right starts, and keep the car off of the inside curb as much as you can. Turn 9 requires you to lift and keep the car as far right as possible through the corner to make the exit, as the car tends to understeer here under most circumstances. Turn 10 requires harsh braking after the 100 board on the right and gradual traction to take 11 flat and set up for 12. You know the drill. Keep a tight line until the track opens up and ease back on the throttle. Turn 13 can be taken flat with enough downforce, but not 14. The tires just can't hack it. If it wasn't already made obvious by the layout, this track is incredibly aero-dependent. Getting both the ride height and wing configurations right are going to be paramount to having a fast car around here. I personally use a similar setup to last week's track, with a tiny bit more front wing to plant the car through the higher speed and uphill sections. While on the topic of last week's track, the high curbs around here are just as detrimental to your laps as the low curbs were last week. The only difference here is that these curbs don't have as much tolerance when it comes to how much you can take before upsetting the car. Avoid them as much as you can. Power on differential can help with getting the car rotated through the faster corners, but do be aware that it might lead to the car being more sensitive to the throttle coming out of the slower and some mid-speed corners. Finally, here are your race distance and fuel calculations for this week. To everyone who made it to the end, I just want to apologize to you if this week's video seems a little rushed, for lack of a better term. The replay on my original Hotlap didn't get saved for some reason, and after I recorded a newer, faster Hotlap, my mind and body just got thrown out of whack to the point where even now I really don't feel right. Might have to do with overexposing myself to this track, I don't know. But anyways, I'm gonna try and keep the cadence up, continuing with the national layout of the Circuit of the Americas next week. Until then, good luck, like and subscribe for more, and thanks for watching.